I'm your host, Ronnie.
And I'm your host, Bonnie.
And today we're going to cover basically the recap of the Enhet Association competition yesterday with the semifinals.
Yeah.
Semifinals round.
You weren't there, were you? You were there.
Yeah,
I checked you in. I got your money.
Yeah, it was late. Yeah.
I made it there in time for the juniors, the end of the juniors.
The end. You were late.
Well, Bonnie and I made it. We had to wait outside the door.
Oh. That was the security. That wasn't. I was just doing my job.
There was security people down there making sure that the place was secure.
Yeah, so I ain't mad at them. I'm not mad.
So let me start off. So on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate yesterday?
As far as what?
Just the competition overall.
You was a spectator.
Yeah, you was a spectator yesterday.
So what is your first?
Yeah.
Spectator wise, I think I would rate like maybe like an 8.5, 9.
Why?
I think I would rate it that because I mean it just seemed like a well-ran competition to me. Like it was to me it was very organized from my eyes view from the spectator side. It was well organized. Normally I'm so used to, like I said, like when I got there like a little bit into, like I think there was like a few more junior squads left. Mm-hmm. But, I missed them because I had to stay outside the doors. Like they definitely were strict on,
book bags and
they were strict on like
security.
What they should be, strict on. I mean, to me things ran smoothly. Like there was a lot of great performances yesterday. Mm-hmm. I just think overall it was just like a good competition. I didn't really see any complications.
Okay. Bonnie?
Well, for me, I would give it like an 8.5, 9 as well. There's always going to be like some issues, right. And there's always going to be people that you cannot please. Overall, for me, it was perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. My peewees did it like a little hiccup with the DJ, okay. But overall, I can't knock the association for that.
Right. I didn't know she was done. I was just trying to sip the water. Don't look at me like that. But no, I would give them a 6.5 for yesterday.
Why?
Reasoning. The first competition we had a dance group. The dance group didn't get that trophy for their first competition.
Okay.
We spoke to them and everything like that. We informed them, that they will be participating for the remainder of the season.
Oh, okay.
Like that or whatever. So this time they get a trophy for the first competition. But this competition, again, there's no trophy. Okay. So, that's kind of like, you were expecting them, and again, we ran into the same thing that we ran into the first time.
So I have a question. If memory serves me correctly, and I'm not sure, in the meeting, I thought they did clarify, I could be wrong though, but I thought they did clarify that even if going forward, maybe it was they clarified that going forward, because they have to follow rules, they weren't going to allow any other dance squads to come in, so your dance squad would be the only squad, which technically wouldn't be competing. So maybe they just were under the impression because you technically aren't competing that they didn't have to get a trophy. Although,
okay,
just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, that's right. I understand, devil's advocate, but still a participation trophy. Like we're still participating in your organization, so right. Like we're not just a exhibition or a sideshow or something like that. We're, still in your program, right. Along with the drill teams and everything like that.
I do have a question. As far as like the competition, aspect, I know normally like at the competitions like maybe 1 through 3rd would get like trophies. So how is it with the heck? Because I'm not like.
Yes, it's still 1 through 3rd gets the trophies. See, the first competition they only called 3rd through 1st, mm-hmm. which had other people thrown off because they didn't know what place. Right. They actually came in because in juniors or intermediates there were more than 3 squads, so that left people kind of up in the air, like, well, what place did I actually come in, because they didn't call any scores. Then so they called all the scores this time from whatever number there was to first place, and then they gave out the trophy from third through first, and then you got your, after everyone was done, they gave us all our score sheets.
Okay, so now my question is, so like, you don't think that maybe like the other teams who may have been like, who may have came in 4th or 5th don't feel the same way that you feel as far as just participating and not getting the trophy?
Didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that, but no, because it wasn't ever said that it wasn't going to be like a competition, because I spoke to the CEO and we had a conversation of some things. And
who's the CEO?
Darius, I believe, or whatever his position is.
I'm not sure if I'm not mistaken, from the program yesterday it said that he's like the vice president.
Yeah, vice president. I mean, I'm not sure. You have the wording or however they, whatever. But
yeah, I was just trying to clarify like who it was. Like,
I spoke to him, whatever, and we had a conversation about it. And from my understanding, that they were going to be competing in the competition. And then when after our conversation, I seen another dance group there. So I'm like, okay, so it worked out. We were supposed to be in contact again after our initial conversation, but we never got back in contact.
It was another dance group.
Yeah, it was another dance
I totally forgot about that, because they're in the AMA and
they weren't there. But one thing that I do,
and then not to cut you off, and then I don't think it was even explained to them what was going on, because I seen one of their people running over. I forgot who she went to go ask, but she was like, why are the judges getting up, going to the bathroom, and they about to perform?
Well, when your team performed, if I'm not mistaken, there wasn't no judges there.
It wasn't.
But
let me stop you, because this is another part, because they were supposed to go on after the junior drummer category. The junior drummer category came. We started setting up the props. The MC had already announced that it was going to be a 15-minute intermission. People started getting up and walking out. So I had a conversation with Daryl, and he was like, we want everybody to see the kids. So, and I understood. I was like, okay, yeah, because they worked hard. So I know they want people to see them. I know they don't want just to be dancing for an empty stadium or whatever. Right. So I was like, okay. So I go outside, to work on whatever I was working on, for the day. And the intermission is cut short, like maybe like 5-10 minutes intermission instead of a whole 15 intermission. So
well, I was confused anyway, because I thought in the program intermission was after the drummers.
My only thing with the confusion is just like that it wasn't really put in like the program like that the dance groups were competing. Like it was, if you seen like each team had like slots and time slots, and I'm not sure if they went on at their time, but they did go in those orders. But, if they were in fact in competition, why weren't they in the program? They were in the program as if they might have been exhibition.
No, the first program, that's how they had it. They had it like the drill teams, and then they had a dance group going between each category of like the squads, like the junior squad, the PB squad, dance team, junior squad, dance team. It was supposed to be like that. They didn't really have a time slot for it, so it wasn't like an exhibition or anything. But like I said, the first competition, it was supposed to be another dance group. I don't know what happened or whatever, they didn't show up.
No, I'm talking about this competition.
Yeah, it was the same way. That's what I'm saying. In the programs, it was the same order, like drill team, dance group, or whatever, with the little bullet next to it without the time slot, right? Yeah. It was the same way the first time.
See, but so I don't know.
That's why I'm giving it a 6.5, because the communication is yet still not there.
And then my thing is like, why wouldn't, if that was the case, like why?
You don't know.
Yeah.
Because and like I don't want to like be like picky, but I'm giving you the reasons why I said 6.5. Like again, I spoke to Darius about recording the competition. And like even the communication between them is like, it has to get better. Mm-hmm. Like I understand Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will Enhet, But, you know, you gotta take trial and error, and we can't keep going through the same things, and these are things that, like, I'm seeing more than once happening.
But and then not to go back on it, but I honestly don't think that maybe the dancers were supposed to be a competition.
You weren't sitting in the meeting.
I know that, but she said she thought she may have heard that also. So
No.
my thing is, just listen, don't cut me off. But what I'm saying is, I think that how would you judge a drill? It's like you're not even treating the dance groups fairly if it's a competition, being as though that you don't even have them going back to back to be compared against each other. You have them going with 4 or 5 squads or 4 or 5 different categories or 2 categories in between.
But that's the way the organization has it set up.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's like,
but
I'm confused as to why they would do that.
They didn't say exactly out their mouths that at the meeting that no one was competing. However, his words were that they weren't going to let other squads come in to compete.
Okay.
If I had a problem with it, not to cut you off, but that's where it came in at. And that's what our conversation was about. I didn't have a problem with that because they were practicing and my dance team was under the impression that they were competing. So I didn't have a problem with him bringing in more dance teams to compete. And that's what he set out to do. And when I seen the other dance team there yesterday, I was under the impression like he did what he said, you know, that he was going to do. He got another dance team so they can have competition.
Right.
That's what our conversation was about.
Okay.
So now I'm under the impression of yesterday that they're competing and the judges get up. So the lack of communication.
Got it.
Right.
So was that your only reason for why there was a 6.5, or?
And then, you know, the unprofessionalism that happened between myself and Darius and the floor, you know, in front of the whole gymnasium. You know, I myself want to apologize for the way I handled myself in front of my squad and in front of spectators of the organization.
I was very disappointed.
And I'm sorry, but, you know,
but, you know,
it was just a little overbearing and it was too much. So I thought I did what was best for myself and my squad, which was got us out of there.
Okay, so that's everybody's overall.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, I give it a 9. 8.5, 9.
Yeah, I give it an 8.5, 9. I enjoyed the day. I still want to get paid for my services. Thank you. But I enjoyed the day overall. There's going to be some hiccups, some issues. It just is what it is. There's no day that's ever going to be perfect. Even when you're planning for your drill team to go, there's still not going to be a day that's going to be perfect. Things are going to happen. So it just is what it is. You know, and better luck next time.
And even recapping, I want to say shout out to everybody that came in first place, you know, all the winners and everybody that even competed, and if you didn't come in first place, just shout out to everybody. I hope
shout out to the kids and the beach balls.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the boys that's representing for the boys that's still, you know,
that's still drilling and
the young, I think the United Movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to you on United Movement. I'm not sure your name, but shout out to you. Representing for the young boys. You ain't see the little boy on
I did.
He on their junior squad.
Yeah.
I told you they got paid me for my services. I was at the door.
He does his thing.
So do you guys have like a favorite performance, or like do you guys have a performance that you guys really liked, or?
Well, I didn't
as far as performance wise, like
I didn't get to see Pee-wees, juniors, or intermediate percussion, so I didn't get to see any kids. I was at the door all the time, up until intermediate percussion. Then we left to go get some pizza. So I didn't get to see any of the kids, and I wish that I did, just because I like to see the progression of the kids. Although, you know, intermediates are still kids, so I don't even want to, like, you know, but they're a little older, and I like to see the babies as well.
Right.
However, do I have a favorite of the day? So this may sound biased, it just is what it is though. My kids, my intermediates was my favorite of the day. I don't get to see them all the time we practice Monday and Tuesday, but my sister also has them in my mother's living room on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
So I normally don't watch my team at all, and I wait to watch it on tape because I don't want to see the very mistakes that you see right then and there.
Right.
I just rather watch it. It's less painful
Right.
on tape. So I typically don't, but Daryl and Virgil was like pulling my leg, like, are you going to watch them? Why aren't you going to watch them? So I'm like peeking behind the curtain, but I was proud of them because they've come a long way.
Right.
Girls that have never drilled before, but their determination to get it right is there, and I love that. And so they were definitely my favorite of the day. I try not to be biased most times and pick another team because you don't want nobody to be like, well, of course she's gonna pick her team.
Right.
So I try to pick another team. However, I see their progression,
Right.
and so that to me
Right.
was my
Understandable.
favorite of the day.
Well, I'm not gonna say like I have a favorite. I really the setup for my Legends Intermediate Squad.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the setup. The
Yeah.
setup was like
They always
was-
come
Yeah.
different,
They
always
come
come
with
creative.
Always
Yeah.
come, yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I like the setup. Even the juniors, my Legends juniors, with the
Again, I didn't get to see the
they had
babies.
they was like a table and then it was up. It was like 3 of them. It was real nice. It was a whole like real big thing. It was
Okay.
a big thing. And you know my juniors, you know with our Snow White thing, juniors y'all did that. I think that you know yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do want to say this, Jeannie, you do it on your heels, boo. You do it on
She
your heels.
drilled?
She did on the beauty
Yeah.
squad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I see the rest of that.
Listen, she on Jeannie heels, man.
Is she?
She
Oh, you know,
I thought she was a little drummer.
on Jeannie. I
She
did
was.
too, she was.
They're
And
really
when I seen her on the floor, I was like, Darius, that's Jeannie daughter? And he was like, yeah, she better than Jeannie.
Oh my God. I'm going to look for the tape.
Yes,
for that
she
one.
killed
Look for the
it.
She did.
video for that. Oh.
I don't think I really had a favorite. Like you said, I think I enjoyed you know, Modern Legends scenery, like the whole scenery and like the
Definitely.
you know, just like the storyline, the way they carry it. I enjoy them every time I see them. I'm sorry, email 24.
Sorry, yes,
I'm sorry about
Yeah.
that.
They're just so used to, you know, just saying my legend.
Because I even said it. Somebody was like, who's up next? I was like, Modern Legends. I'm sorry.
You gotta get used to it.
Yeah,
gotta get used
I'm sorry,
to it.
email 24. But I enjoyed. Who was with the they had like the bodysuits with like the fringes on their shoulders.
I'm gonna call them
The one girl had the blue hair. Was that
GM
Steppers, yeah.
I enjoyed their uniform. I think the uniform was it was really nice. I really didn't get to see their performance. I just kept seeing them around. I'm like, well, who is that?
Shout out to the dedicated bass drummer. Like he was hitting them beats for them. Like
Yeah,
they,
shout out to him.
like you not for real. Like yeah, because like he was there.
I didn't get to see them perform. So my girl was outside practice.
Okay.
I do have a favorite.
Okay.
My favorite was Real Legacy's over here.
He being biased because his cousin was on there.
No, I'm not. No, like I really like, you know, Bonnie can tell you like I always enjoy like,
Right.
you know, Real Legacy and like, and I think maybe it's because, you know, at the point in time, like, you know, I was on the squad with Bonnie, you know, so I just know like, you know, how hard they work. And then like, they all have been, like, you know, majority of them have been with each other for a long time. So it's just like, you know, just to see the progression, like, in the squad from what they was from day one to now. And I've always enjoyed, you know, any team that Val has led. So, like, it's just a blessing, like, the look, like, with the neck, with the face, and then with the drummers, and then just the movements. It's just a performance that I really, really enjoy. I think that was my favorite performance.
Wait for nationals.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, what do you think that the Enhet Association, like, you know, can get better at, like, you know, as far as, you know, just anything, like, to, like, help them progress, like, in the near future and in the far future?
More communication inside of just them.
Okay.
Like yeah, and then after they can get communication inside of them in public, then the communication with the directors, because that's like falling off. It's not there, you know, and it's the beginning. I mean, the space wise is growing. It was a little bit bigger than Frankfurt. I'm not gonna say it needed to be enormous, whatever. But it was a nice space for the crowd. So that's one thing that they're getting better at. Is playing in the venues, and so yeah. I think that would be it.
Well, for me, because I saw a little bit more of inside things, I would like to see more help. I feel like they're being pulled, like even though it's 5 of them, it's still only 5 of them. That is a lot to go on. Even though they have other people in place to run their teams, they're still trying to run their team on the sideline, but run their team and deal with the day-to-day things that are going on with the competition. So I would like to see them be able to have more help, because it definitely makes things hard when you're just like, can you go find so-and-so because I need more of this and more of that and more of this and more of that. And you go to the team, they don't know where the person at. You go here, they don't know where the person at. You call them on the walkie, you can't get to them. Right. They definitely need more help. And I know that, they don't want to necessarily have to reach out to like drill team people, just because of that's some of the things that they want to stay away from. So I understand that. However, maybe if there are some replicable people, drill team people that you feel like you can actually count on and deal with, that are willing to give you the help, then take it or reach out to them or something. I would definitely just like to see them actually have more help, because I definitely felt like every last one of them were being pulled in 21 directions, and they're only human. So when they make some of the reactions that they do after a while, you can't really fault them, so to speak, because you would feel the same way if somebody is just like they're pulling at your strings and you trying to do this, that, and the fourth, and after a while that becomes frustrating. And I know, because I'm only one person and I do a lot. So,
I agree.
But can I ask you a question? With that being said, like how we said about our directors on our hot topic, is that just the territory that they're in, that they have to be pulled 20 different ways?
No, I don't know any CEO of a company who feels frustrated sitting in his office because something's going on. Nothing hits the top until the ish is about to go kaboom. So there's absolutely no reason why when it comes to the board, that's when it is down to the nitty gritty, and we need to make sure our ish ain't about to explode. Right. So honestly, when it comes down to it's the beginning for them. Right. So all of us still have to give them the benefit of the doubt with that, definitely, because it's still the beginning and it's still a learning curve for them. They're still learning as they go and things like that. So therefore, you would like to see more help, just because I do see that they're trying to make things successful, and you can't, like Sharnae say all the time, you can't please everybody, and that is the truth. True. You can't. When you got 8 and 9 and 10 teams, somebody's not going to be happy, and that's just the way the ball drops. Yeah. However, on a competition day, it becomes extremely hard to try to man money, concession, make sure the guards are keeping it people friendly, like maintain it, but also not manhandling us like we at the club, and making sure the teams are in order, everybody's lined up. There's, the host got stuff right. He's, here, there. It becomes a lot when you're being pulled in different directions. Yeah. So, and even though it's 5 of them, they're all still being pulled in different directions. So, to me, there's still, while you're being pulled in this direction, it should still be 2 other people that can man this whole situation right here while it's going down.
But again, like when we sit in the meetings, if I'm not mistaken, each one of them is supposed to have a station, right? Like a certain area that they handle in like the competition.
Yeah, it appeared that that was the case, but it also appeared that when
I just think that situations weren't happening in that area. Like it was more so, they needed them here.
Every which
so
way.
It was like, it wasn't a situation where we can bring this situation into the station, and even though that's the way, like you said, they said they were going to set it up like that. It just seemed
and
like
they definitely were in their areas that they said that they would be in. But it wasn't that they weren't manning their situations. It was just that sometimes a situation was above that person. And so now they need another person to either make that call, finalize it, or before I make this final decision, let me just run it past this person. So it wasn't, I like that communication though. I like that it's not that I'm just gonna do whatever. Like, and there was some type of consideration. Well, let me just run it past this other person because I don't want to be the person to just say like, hey, okay. So that I like. Versus somebody just being like, I'm the head honcho and whatever. So, however, still, that just became, like, it still was a lot. There was a lot going on. I don't know if they thought that they were, because it was in Jersey, that they were going to get that big of a smaller crowd. It's Willingboro is like right across the bridge, and so everybody Het is like the newest thing on the block. So everybody's talking about. And right now, it's the only thing on the block. But,
and then Frankfurt, everybody.
So everybody's in. Like I got text messages from people who haven't been to drilling competitions in forever, like, where the comp at? What time to start?
Right.
You drilling? Well, yeah, I'm drilling. If you came to Frankfurt, you would have known that. But even still, so it was still a lot of people. So I definitely am excited for nationals because I know they are going to pack the armory. I know they are, because there are even people now who's just like, well, when's the next comp and where? They haven't been to these last 2 competitions, and we're like, oh, it's in Philly, and this is where it's gonna be. So I can just imagine the outcome and the crowd and the turnout. So it's gonna be lit, and I'm excited, but I just want them to be prepared for that. So whatever extra help you need, on Darius wrote about the extra guards, you're gonna need extra everything. So bring it.
Yeah, I just think they could just I guess like y'all said, like, get better at, like the help out. Well, not get better, but I just think that they need a little bit more help, like staff-wise. I noticed it was like one person working like the food area, and like, they had like the cheese, they had the nachos and the cheese, and it was like, she was trying to, shout out to Tracy too, that's my sister. But she was trying to, get the sodas and stuff and, out the people. But then at the same time, she was trying to get the nachos, and it was just her by herself at some point in time. They did have help here and there, but like,
she was here the majority of the
time.
But
like, yeah, and like Bonnie was saying, like, you could tell, because I did see Charnay, and I think I seen Jeannie, and
Adrian,
a few other people. Adrian brother was back there. Like, certain people were helping her out, but I just think that, like Bonnie said, they were being pulled in so many different ways to get the authority for certain things, because they solely handle this, and they don't want to overstep that person. That it was kind of hard, and they were a little bit short staffed. Other than security was the only thing I know for a fact, like, that was down packed. But I do think they need more.
Security was better this time than the last time.
Yeah,
last time they were trying to pick you up.
Shout out to the main guy. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name. I knew his name. I don't remember his name. But shout out to the main guy. He was at the last one. He was at this one. He don't play no games. He don't play no games. He was shutting them down. I said no. I was like, oh, okay. He said no.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I don't really see too much more.
Yes, give me some hot cheese, please. I want hot cheese and nachos.
Some soft pretzel.
Oh yeah, and like the pretzels were a little hard, but like I said, like she wasn't able to, you know, do so much because I even seen, you know, it was one little boy, he walked up and, you know, while she was doing the nachos for somebody, he came up and he grabbed a soda and then he went to pay for it, but that wasn't the way that
He was supposed to do it.
it was supposed to happen, you get what I'm saying? And that could have easily been, you know, if he
Somebody
wasn't, somebody stealing, you know, from, so the help is definitely needed.
Yeah.
I'm willing to volunteer.
You gonna volunteer? That means you gotta come on time.
Yeah, that means you gotta take off from work. It's a Saturday from 8 to 4.
When I'm able to.
Okay, now.
Okay, well, see, I just said help. I meant dedicated help.
Yeah.
I mean, when I can.
Okay, we'll stop there for now.
I don't.